Welcome back to Beautiful Mind. In this series of July, we're discussing Bitcoin from its beginning to present, using all our indicators, tools, and our monthly counts and percentage levels, laying out logical and sensible explanations, determining possible outcomes. Thank you to all my viewers, my most valuable viewers. Thank you to all you subscribers. Thank you very much for viewing. Really hoping that you find this content very beneficial. All right, so jumping back in here, quick recap. We're in our bear market structure. We have both of our Fibonacci circles have crossed and indicated that we're in a downward movement. Where are we going down to? It's possible that our next black ring on our second Fibonacci ring is intersecting with our other Fibonacci ring on this circle. So we have a confluence point here crossing a lot of our trend lines, coming down from tops and up from bottoms. Again, these structures are still intact. And we're going to zoom in and we're going to talk about these and what we can possibly see in the future. Currently, we are around the 19,000 level. 72% is a fairly normal bottoming area. Are we at a bottom? Well, our indicators have said on the monthly chart here that we are still down, and I can hear all of you pros now, all you listen to me now through these tutorials. Lower tops, lower tops, lower tops. You can see all these lower tops. I can just hear you all now. Death crosses, death crosses. Blue line is still below. We're under our median. Death cross, we're down below our median. Look here, RSI, the relative strength indicator, looking left here. We're sitting on some previous levels. Is this a buying level? Not necessarily, but we are looking for a dead cat bounce. We're looking for a sucker rally here, and it looks like one may ensue here. Now, what am I talking about here? Well, it's possible that we make a move that could move up to, well, let's just zoom in and have a look here at some of our levels where we could maybe expect something to happen. Let's just make this a little bigger so that we can make a better determination. So on the weekly chart here, I'm just going to remove this indicator for now while we discuss this. Gives you a better look at it. So we've been discussing that Bitcoin was going to make a bottom here between the 6th, 12th, and around the 27th here on Beautiful Mind. Has that happened? Well, we're pretty close. We had the 17th here and the 20th. We had a bottom. And of course, around the 30th here and the 4th here, 3rd and 4th, we're getting a secondary bottom, a higher bottom. Are we about to have a dead cat bounce? Well, the indicators here are stating that we're just about to have a golden cross. The buyers have started to step in momentarily. Doesn't mean that we're in a bull market by any means. Looking left on our stochastics, here we are. We're back into levels where things are a buy. We just have to be very mindful. We have to watch these carefully. Our RSI has moved down. It's below some median levels. Looks like it's still looking for more deeper moves down, possibly in the near future. So we're looking for a bit of a dead cat bounce here. Just zooming in a little bit now. We're just going to go to the daily here and we're going to have a look at what we're talking about here and see if we can determine better what we're talking about here. So here's our ring. We've came down, we sat on this ring, we pierced through it momentarily and then gained some strength and sat on it until we came up into our early June period and we had a rollover to the middle of the month. And of course, I was expecting a bottom around the 27th, I said. So, you know, we had a little bit of a move up here, kind of counter to what we said. However, since we used the moon and some signs and other things to determine, the 30th we made a bottom here, so we're still within 3 days of my target area, which is still a direct hit in my mind. Now, from here, is it possible we move up to the 23,000 area and whatnot? Well, it is possible. We've been looking at a short position for several days. We've had a short position from the 27th at around the 22,529 level. Let's just take a look at a couple of these indicators here and see what we can determine. So, using this Fibonacci, we are using our last major points of high reference. We could certainly bring this down and, you know, bring it into our last movement. And it's telling us that if we don't gain some momentum and break out here and get up to this 22 and 23,000 level, it's quite likely that after the 8th and 9th, we're going to be down to around these levels here and sitting around 12,000. Is that going to happen? Well, not necessarily, but we're certainly looking at it. Well, let's have a look at our other indicator here with our other Fibonacci channel, and let's just see what an upward trajectory might look like here for us. So, moving forward, we're at a convergence point here, and looks like we're about to have a bit of a bounce up. And if we don't, then we're certainly going to roll over, and this model will still be intact. I'm still a bad news bear, but we are expecting something here, something that can come back up and retest these areas. These are strong areas of resistance and overhead support, and we just need to be mindful that can happen. We could, of course, go up and retest this area here at 25,000. Is that going to happen? Well, maybe later on in the year it might happen, but possibly not now. We've just got this slow, gentle upward channel, and we're just about ready to test whether or not we're going to have our dead cat bounce, come up to here, and then once we are achieving this resistance level, I feel the sellers are going to step back in around the 8th, and it could persist till maybe the 12th, but I doubt it. But I think around the 8th, we're going to see a rollover and a turn down. Where's our next determination? Well, based on the numbers and trajectories, I'm thinking that a 12,000 level is certainly within the realm and is a good determination. Is that going to happen? Well, not necessarily, but I have a bottom for the 27th, and starting around the 20th, we would start to see some fast moves, really fast moves moving down. And is that going to happen? It's possible. And this would subside, and we would have as well a rally into the August, and then another bottom area near the end of the month, again around the 27th. And we're going to talk about that as well. But in this July tutorial, we're looking for a dead cat bounce. Are we going to reach the 23,000 level? It's possible. Sure it is. We could certainly have a convincing move up, and everyone be told that this was a opportunity of a lifetime, and then you get bashed on the head again by that big stick. So we're going to watch out for this. We're really going to watch out for all this stuff. Is that what's going to happen? Not necessarily, but we're going to be mindful of this. So taking a look at what's happening moving forward, Bitcoin is looking quite weak still, and we still need to come down to more fair value pricing where the everyday folk can be enticed into buying into this disruptive technology, which can be turned on and off, electronically disrupted. So we have to determine whether or not these are good investments for us in the future, and that this blockchain technology is, in fact, going to be in our best interest. And if we own it, will it truly be our asset? So at this point, I just wanted to show you this stuff because at this point, I'm looking at this is my short position. I'm not stating that you have to have a short position. Don't necessarily do anything based on my recommendation. So I made this trade to go short on the 21st. It's not a very big trade, not much leverage and whatnot, and I'm only going to lose, about 30% if it goes against my position. And is that going to happen? Well, not necessarily, but it certainly could happen. So we're looking for that. And our indicators are stating that it's bad news bears right here, but we could have a good turnaround. Same with our RSI. RSI has been moving down to lower tops. Are we going to come back and rest on this area? It's possible. Looks like we're making a higher bottom here a bit, and the stochastic is about to look like it's going to maybe turn around here. And our MACD, we had a death cross here. We're just having looks like the beginning of a possible golden cross. Looks like the buyers have started to leave here and the sellers are packing up. Buyers are moving back in. It's possible. So we're just going to watch this. And I just thought maybe this would be a good update. And I'm going to do weekly updates now, I think, on the weekend. So pay attention and look forward to our weekly progress reports as we point out where we think Bitcoin may be headed based on the tools and the algorithms that are suggesting where it may be headed. If you like this material and feel it's beneficial, share it with your friends, your family, your colleagues. Get this information out. Tear it to pieces. Take a good look at it and, chew it to pieces. Give us some feedback if you like this kind of material. We're also going to look at some other stuff, the square of 9, and how that will relate to forecasting. And we're going to bring the Mazzaroth or the zodiac into play, and we are going to drop the celestial bodies on there and get our price movements based on the correct moving bodies and look at those relationships. So stay tuned for that tutorial as well. Anyways, wishing you a wonderful weekend and week ahead, and stay safe and have a beautiful day. Thank you for joining us here on Beautiful Mind.